is a reading for Gemini, the Gemini collective. Gemini, as is a collective reading, do take what resonates as it resonates. There's also other content you can check out. Gemini, you can check out the November readings I did a few days ago, not too long ago. There was Gemini November. It says early November, but it's November energies. Gemini also love readings, love forecasts. To go and see a general love reading, there's 2 parts to that one. And I do that batch. It takes 12 hours to power through that for all 12 zodiacs at a minimum. And that's, I do one reading, one general love reading, and whatever message Spirit has for the Gemini collective or for the collective. And then I break it down by 12 zodiac signs. So you can see the energies there. I have allergies this morning, Gemini. So I do apologize for that a little in advance. Oh yeah, also check out Gemini, the astrological shorts. There's something with YouTube that apparently if you release too many of the shorts, I think they just stop promoting them. And then if I try and release all 12, that's I get banned from them or something. I don't know. I haven't really had time to go and figure it out. I think I could release up to 6. But I notice that when I release all 12, or if I have other content out there with the shorts, they kind of just sit. As opposed to if I just did one. If I do one reading, one short, it goes, just decent. But if I do a clump of them, they go nowhere. So anyway, Gemini, if you're interested in the astrological shorts, check those out. I'm still kind of doing them, but I have to admit, I myself am just a little sad that YouTube doesn't recognize that sometimes we want to release little clumps of things, little clumps of 12 when we do a release. But anyway, that was a segue. We're here to go and check out, Gemini, your mid to end November energies. What other messages can we share for you about this time period? Or even for you watching at this time, whenever you watch it. I do think that November is an odd month. It's a month where a lot of people are preparing to take off. Second to the last month of the year. You could be a little wistful that the year is ending if you had such a great year. You could be 100%, 200% ready for the next year to begin. But those cycles, those perceived cycles are just that. We ourselves, collectively and individually, are in our own unique start and end points that have nothing to do with a month, nothing to do with a year, even nothing to do with a season. Gemini, I will be offering paid personal readings as well. If anyone here would like a personal reading, check out the details in the description, or later you can get in contact with me by my email or catch me on the live. For this collective reading, Gemini, we're going to see whatever comes out. Will it be love for Gemini? Will it be work for Gemini? Will it be a general life reading for Gemini? Let's find out. Contemplation, Gemini. You have some choices to make, Gemini. Maybe, Gemini, you've been thinking with those choices. Maybe you feel you've done as much as you can do, should do, ought to do about it. You've gone as far as you can up to a certain point. Feels like almost up to a certain point for the sake of, I don't know, social norms, boundaries, your own boundaries. But regardless, you have choices to make, choices to consider, Gemini. Cancerian energy is piling up for you. Gemini, both of these are Cancer. And relationships, Gemini. You know, it's interesting, Gemini. The love reading I did for your collective, I saw that Gemini has fantastic affinity with all 12 zodiacs, essentially. But also, Gemini, what I saw was that just because you had great affinity with all 12 zodiacs, that did not mean that all 12 zodiacs were the best or would act the best in your interest. It's the mirror of that, Gemini. Back for a moment, Gemini. I need to go and get one more tissue. Okay, as I said, I have allergies this morning. Yeah, I would almost, Gemini, recommend, if this reading is starting to resonate a little bit with your choices, decisions, and also too, if your mind has been on your human, because I'm surrounded by cats, surrounded by your relationships, or if this relationships and the dynamics of them is occupying your mind, Gemini. Gemini, I would definitely take a look at the November love readings. You know, this doesn't have to necessarily be about love, right? It's human relationships and interaction. Because what I'm seeing here, Gemini, for continuing in November, or right now, what I'm seeing is you need to refine and yet cultivate the relationships you have and the relationships you'll create. And I think, Gemini, here with 2 of Cups and 2 of Pentacles, Gemini, what I'm feeling from this is, perhaps this is a question for you. in your relationships, forget about if they're love or work or friendship, family, etc. Here, one moment, Gemini. I think I have to take one quick break. Okay, I'm back. I needed another tissue and I needed to tend to one of my cats in the litter. Okay, Gemini, there's an issue about partnership here, but it's more than just, or let me put it this way, what are the dynamics of partnership and what are the dynamics of friendship? That's what I'd like you to think, Gemini. Just because somebody calls you their friend, or, well, people can come up with whatever sort of scenarios they want in their head, right? I mean, you have really no pull or say about the fantasies that someone can be creating about you and them in their head. I mean, that's just, or the sort of relationship or the sort of dynamics. You could say that the sky is purple. And, maybe the sky in the sunset is purple. Maybe that was a bad color choice. If you could say the sky is green, is the sky actually green? I haven't seen a green sky yet. Gemini, have you? But, again, you have no ultimate pull on what a person perceives, and ultimately kind of who cares, right? It's not your perception, it's not reality. They can try and imagine all they want. They could try, Gemini, to manifest all they want. But that doesn't change some core things, Gemini. Like, what does it actually take for a partnership? What are the ingredients, the dynamics, the traits of friendship, partnership, love, healthy relationships, right? Well, obviously, Gemini, there's shared interest, right? Shared values. There should also be, Gemini, an equal or same investment in their emotional attachments and openness. And also, two, placing you in priority along with their other things. I mean, you should have priority in the relationship. They should work to balance everything out and make sure there's no inequalities in those tangible things like time, attention. There's a sharing of finance, sharing of workload. I mean, I think that the question here, Gemini, is for you to definitely re-examine or think about the people that are around you. And what are they imparting to you? And Gemini, how similar are they to you? When I say similar, I do mean in terms of their goals, their dedication, their sensitivity, their drive, their confidence too. You know, it sort of feels like too, with all this balancing act that I have here and all the energies, Gemini. It's almost like asking you, Gemini, with the people around you, keep an extra eye out on the people who could seem in competition with you. I mean, we have all these even numbers, all this balance. Feels like, too, there are people who are around you who are jealous. Not saying all of them, Gemini, I'm just saying that that's like an undercurrent here, which is why I think Spirit is asking you to consider all the relationships and the people that you spend time with, both in work, love, family. Do their actions match their words, Gemini? Someone says they're your friend. Are they acting like it? And then if they're acting like your friend, Gemini, are they acting like a good friend, or are they acting in their own self-interest? I'm wondering if I should pull a little bit more. I feel that's the main message here. Of course, signs, Gemini, well, as I said, I have strong Cancer, I have some Taurus, I have some Capricorn. I feel like the energies here, Gemini, would be applicable to like first house, fourth house, sixth house. I don't know, keep that in mind, Gemini. I'm just going to throw some cards on this just because. This is definitely a message here, Gemini, to pause and do a self-audit on who you have around you. You know, Gemini, too, in this energy, these extra cards I picked up in the overall spread. In this energy, Gemini, this is also like those people that you may have been feeling, oh, I don't know, but I feel it. You have been feeling, you picked up on their, let's just say, their bad vibes or their not pure vibes. And you could have just gone and said, like, or you could have gone and said, or through your actions, you could have just phased these people out, Gemini, and they could just be trying to slowly come back in. And I wonder, Gemini, are you allowing them to come back in because you have history together? You know that person so well, Gemini, or they know you so well, you've known them for so long. That the relationship is not completely cut off. Cards just falling out. I have all the 4 cards here. All the number 4. 4 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords, 4 of Wands, 4 of Cups. Balance and stability. Gemini, I'm going to leave it here. You need to go and you need to examine the balance and stability of your interpersonal relationships. It's essentially the message that I have. And you need to closely examine the people that you have around you, the people who you are creating relationships with, Gemini. There's something about them or some of them that is not serving you and is bringing you down, and I think you feel that. Think again, Gemini, on the label of friend. What does friendship really mean? The components of it. And do the people around you match those components? Do they have your similar values? Do they do the same activities? Do they have a quality of hope? How do they spend their day, Gemini? And also to Gemini, do their actions match their words? Something for you to review. All right, Gemini. Until the next reading, I am wishing all of you the most beautiful day. Bye-bye.